Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This is awesome! Hello and welcome to Cheap Shot Entertainment. You are the Cheap Shot Nation and I am your host Luke. This is a microphone. Going old school. Needs must. With this review is for TLC, Tables, Ladders and Chairs 2019. It took place on the 15th of December 2019. We stayed up like idiots to watch it because we're in the UK, and it came from Minneapolis, Minnesota in the Target Center, and we kicked the show off with some indoor fireworks. What are they called again? I can't remember the last time I saw fireworks at a WWE pay-per-view show, but it seems like they are bringing them back very, very slowly. Pyro wow face is in my notes. But yeah, the show was, well, that's Tommy Dreamer and the Naughty Elf, which you can name, by the way, on Cheap Shot Entertainment. They have taken the lights with them. They have fallen off the table, and they just couldn't help themselves but have a TLC match on Cheap Shot Entertainment right in front of your eyes here. And oops, there we go. So yeah, they've disappeared. They're off the table. Haha. And yeah, we're gonna get back on with the show. Go straight into the first match now. It's the SmackDown, laying the SmackDown on your Rudy. SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Sorry, I got carried away there. SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It is the New Day, the current Tag Team Champions, versus the Revival in a Tag Team ladder match. So yeah, I believe this was the ladder match anyway. But yes, the New Day win by climbing the ladder and retrieving the titles. Decent match. Good kick-off match, really, for what would be an iffy show, an odd show. It would be very similar to Hell in a Cell as a show, and just in general a really odd show. First couple of matches were fantastic, the last match was great, but there you go, that's WWE for you. Last pay-per-view of the year. They've got no real rival company going into this pay-per-view, so they obviously haven't bothered trying. They didn't announce any matches for a long time before the pay-per-view started, so they've announced all the matches in the last week, which was nothing. Apparently Vince McMahon has it in his head that people don't want to know what's going off when they book tickets and pay an absolute fortune for them. Someone needs to give the old man a slap, I'm afraid. Anyway, New Day pick up the victory and retain the titles in aid of their fallen comrade Xavier Woods. The Revival live to fight another day, but do not go home with tag team silver in this case. Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black, my opinion, the show stealer apart from the last match. These two could literally have matches with brooms. If Great Khali was still there, they could have a good match with him, either or in a triple threat match, and make him look good. That's how good these guys are. Buddy Murphy is phenomenal. There's a reason they picked up the Cruiserweight Championship and then ultimately got propelled straight into the main event, into the main roster. Aleister Black not being used very well on the main card. However, it's Aleister Black. He's fantastic. Who's going to come knocking next? Well, Buddy Murphy came knocking this time. Aleister Black would get his arse handed to him literally by Buddy Murphy for most of this match. Aleister Black would come back and he can hit this move out of nowhere. Black Mass, smack to the side of the head. Buddy Murphy had no chance of getting up from this one. Really good match. They were given plenty of time as well, which is always good. So yeah, Aleister Black picks up the victory. Another victory for him. Expect to see him in 6 to 12 months. Next, Raw Tag Team Championships. Next, now getting these ones out of the way very quickly in this contest. And we have the Raw Tag Team Championships. It is the Viking Raiders offering out an open challenge, of which I thought the Street Profits were going to take up the challenge. They were in the building, as we would find out a little later on, so I'm quite surprised. However, I do like the idea that the OC are still carrying around that Tag Team World Cup like it was the best thing since sliced bread, and they are rolling with it, and I like that. I didn't like it when Shane McMahon did it because he's not a wrestler. However, the OC can carry that cup around for the rest of their lives and it will still be good. Anything they do is absolute gold. They would come up short here, unfortunately, against the Viking Raiders, who have been absolutely dominant since going to the main roster. The main roster call-up done right, and if you are going to look at the main roster call-ups done right, you look at the Viking Raiders. You could go back earlier on in that and say that Finn Balor's call-up was done the right way as well, but he picked up the Universal Championship, became the first ever Universal Champion, got injured in the same match due to Seth Rollins' buckle bomb, and had to relinquish the title. He never got a rematch for that title. He never lost that title, and ultimately he's gone back down to NXT. Maybe he's requested to go down there, but since going back down to NXT, he's been fantastic. Hope the Viking Raiders stay on the main roster, however, because they are absolutely fantastic. The OC answer this call, but this is the first part of the screwy finishes and the first part, the downfall of WWE tables, ladders and chairs, because double count out. Double count out. Why? I could understand it if they'd beaten each other from pillar to post, but it wasn't even a long match. And like Woody pointed out, I think it was Ivar jumped out of the ring as the referee was counting, so that should stop the count, but it didn't. He carried on counting, he counted to 10, double count out, Viking Raiders retain, OC go away with their World Cup, but this rivalry lives to fight another day. However, it was a good match up until the screwy finish. So I'm going to add that to my catalogue of Cheap Shot blog. I'm going to introduce this. I'm going to get a proper clipboard and have a sticker on the back of it and everything. And number 2, Behind Black Christmas 2019, if you've seen my review of that on the channel, Quick Shot Reviews, is screwy finishes. There you go. Just made the catalogue. Yeah, screwy finish. Whatever. TLC match next. Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns. This was turning into a really good match. I'm not quite sure why it was TLC though. This would have been better suited to a tables match, for example. Because there was nothing on the line. There was no ladder to climb to retrieve the championships. Obviously they did that with the Kabuki Warriors, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch later on, and so they didn't want to oversaturate it, I suppose, but they still had 2 TLC matches. Yeah, but this match was actually really good. Roman Reigns is finally getting over with the crowd. I've got to admit, I've never had a problem with Roman Reigns. I didn't like it when he was oversaturated and shoved in our faces over and over again. But then Charlotte Flair is being dubbed the same way. And, you know, what can you say about that? It's Charlotte Flair, she's good. But it would be Baron Corbin who would pick up the victory here with another screwy finish, help from Dolph Ziggler as Roman Reigns was running around the ring to perform his spear. And yeah, the Revival would make a reappearance. And I was really surprised that the New Day didn't come out and sort out the Revival. It was just a 4-on-1 beatdown of Roman Reigns. And yeah, dog food came into play again, which was get on with it. No one likes to see people covered in dog food. But Baron Corbin would pick up the victory, and he's living completely up to this King moniker. He is doing it really well. Just wish they'd get rid of the dog food and all of that stuff, because it's disgusting and no one wants to see it. So Roman Reigns loses this one. Baron Corbin picks up the victory, and his King's Court, so to speak, celebrates in the middle of the ring. End of days on a chair, help from Dolph Ziggler and the Revival, as I've alluded to. So yeah, another screwy finish. The best part of the night, quite possibly, was Bray Wyatt's, not the Fiend, he's Bray Wyatt in this match, Bray Wyatt's entrance. He comes out to the Firefly Funhouse music. It was absolutely the best thing I have seen him do, and it adds an extra dimension to his character. The fact that he can either be the Fiend or he can be Bray Wyatt, and there's 2 characters there, and it's so good, so good. He ultimately did pick up the victory here. Miz, fueled by the sort of paranormal activity thing that Bray Wyatt was doing with his Firefly Funhouse buddies, Ramblin' Rabbit and things. The Miz's little girl playing with Ramblin' Rabbit, got a doll with the Fiend's face on it and things like that. That was cool. But ultimately this match was again a bit screwy. Like I say, the best part was the entrance. He came down, it was like a you know, children's TV presenter. He was going he's going ooh, and he's slapping high fives and having selfies with people, and he was completely different to the Fiend. The Fiend appeared on the TV, and all of a sudden Bray Wyatt did snap, and he was ready to take out the Miz, ready to continue his assault after hitting 2 Sister Abigails on his fallen opponent. The lights go out, we see a hooded figure. It is the return of the Yes Movement. Daniel Bryan has had his hair shaved. He got dragged underneath the ring by the Fiend. The hair was being sacrificed, so to speak, and thrown into the ring as he was dragged under the ring. And Daniel Bryan looks like Daniel Bryan from 2012. It doesn't look any different. It is proper trippy, and we're going into 2020. But yeah, good to see Daniel Bryan back. Good to see the Yes Movement. Everyone loves Daniel Bryan. He is fantastic, and the amount of rubbish that he's had to go through to get to this point is fantastic, and the fact that he's helped the Miz as well. And this storied rivalry continues with the Fiend and Bray Wyatt in the mix as well. I say D-Bry rushes the ring and takes out Wyatt, takes out Bray Wyatt. Tables match next. It is Rusev versus Lashley, and Lashley, of course, coming out with Mrs. Rusev, former Mrs. Rusev, Lana by his side to further add fuel to the fire. And yeah, it's actually a decent match. Lana did get involved, however she does look like she is with child, so whether that is going to play into a storyline saying it's Bobby Lashley's, I don't know, but she does actually look like she's with child, so she was never going to go through a table, and the tables were used quite creatively actually, but it would be Rusev that would go through the table. Bobby Lashley would hit an overhead belly-to-belly throw on Rusev and put him through a table for the victory in this one. Lana celebrates, and Rusev is a crumpled, broken mess in the corner as he watches his former wife run away with Bobby Lashley up the ramp. Women's Tag Team Championships next, and the main event of the evening. A bit of a continuation from TLC 2018, where Asuka had a triple threat match with Charlotte and Becky Lynch, picking up the title, incidentally, in that match. And it was a really good match. And this match also was fantastic. You've got Kairi Sane added into the mix. The Kabuki Warriors are fantastic. Wasn't convinced that Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch should be in a tag team championship match, but I can't see any other way for the women's division to move forward here without the star power of Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Incidentally, there was no Bayley and there was no Sasha Banks in this one. This one also would have been fantastic as a tag team triple threat match for the TLC for the championships with Bayley and Sasha Banks. Bayley, incidentally, wasn't even in the building. She kept tweeting out pictures of sunsets and things like that. Nice being a women's champ and not even being in the building for a pay-per-view. Sort it out, WWE. You've got all these championships. You want them all defended. Get them on shows so they can be defended and showcased, and you know, all that kind of stuff. Sort it out. Get creative on it. I don't think there is really a creative team in WWE at the moment because everything's just bloody awful. And that's the first time I've said that about WWE in a long time. Every time I think they're sort of turning the corner, they just go straight and just go back to their old ways. But yeah, really good match this one, fantastic. These girls just beat each other up. Becky Lynch got tied to a ladder at one point, and I'm not afraid to say it was kind of erotic, but yeah, she would stay there for quite a while, and Charlotte would be fighting the Kabuki Warriors on their own. Asuka incidentally didn't hit the green mist during this match, so it was a clean victory for the Kabuki Warriors. Kairi Sane seems to take a lot of punishment in this one. There was ladders broken, there was tables broken, there was chairs used, like I say, ropes, as Becky Lynch was trying to climb up the ladder. At one point, the rope that was attached to the ladder, Asuka pulled the rope and pulled it over the ladder, which led to the victory for Asuka, with Charlotte Flair down, Kairi Sane down, and Becky Lynch down. It would be Asuka who would climb the ladder to victory again, 2 years in a row, beating Charlotte and Becky Lynch. Who knew? Who knew this was going to happen? As Asuka was treated so badly after she won the championship last time. But she is kicking ass again and taking names, and I like that. I like that a lot. So Kabuki Warriors pick up the victory, retain the championships by climbing the ladder to success for her team. So overall, very middling pay-per-view. I'd probably give it 2.5 out of 5, 5 out of 10, 10 out of 20, 20 out of 40. You get the picture. About 50%, 0.5, whatever you want to call it. Very middling. There were some really good matches. The last match absolutely saved it. It woke me up ultimately in the end to watch that match because it was fan-bleeding-tastic. Low lights, the screwy finish to the Raw Tag Team Championships. Another highlight would be Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy. They need to be higher up on the card. A low light would be no Bayley. The Raw Women's Championship wasn't on the line, and no mid-card titles. No Shinsuke Nakamura or Rey Mysterio. Where are those storylines? Eh? So I'm going to add another thing to my list. Number 3, another thing to the catalogue, and that is TLC 2019. They've just made the catalogue. Updates available weekly on the blog, that is cheapshotentertainment.blogspot.co.uk. There's also a link there to the t-shirt shop where you can choose your colours and take home something fantastic for Christmas and support us financially, as well as wearing our merch, which would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, that's TLC for you. It's one of those, take it or leave it. I absolutely could. I'm not going to be in a rush to go back and watch this TLC pay-per-view again at any time in the near future. I've got 2 things extra to the list, or the catalogue of Cheap Shot Blog. We now have 3 things on the catalogue of Cheap Shot Blog, and that is, well, maybe it isn't a good thing. I don't know, because I'm writing these things down because I don't like them. Yeah, so middling pay-per-view. I can't recommend the pay-per-view. It doesn't really drive any storylines forward. The only saving grace here, if you do want to watch it, just skip to the end and watch the TLC match between the Kabuki Warriors, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. As much as I'm middling when it comes to Charlotte Flair, I do understand she is a phenomenal talent, and that needs to be addressed, and that needs to be on the main roster in the main event, and that was good. And every time, again, I think that they're going to do something good with the women's division. They do not. Same with the mid-card. They've got too many titles and not enough time, and too many wrestlers, not enough time to book them all. They just don't give themselves enough time. They spread themselves too thinly, and that's just WWE for you. And that's why I like NWA over AEW and WWE. So at the moment, that is just my opinion. Just the right amount of wrestlers. The production values are on point. It's insane at times, and I just love it. I love the music. I love everything about NWA. Anyway, this has been WWE TLC, and that's been everything that happened in TLC 2019. I have been your host, Luke, and we've been reporting for Cheap Shot Entertainment. You are the Cheap Shot Nation, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when we upload new content to the channel. Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for all of your social media needs. And I will see you in the new year. This is the last WWE pay-per-view that we're going to be doing this year. So if you only come to the channel to watch WWE pay-per-view reviews, I will bid you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, and all of those other things, just in case you don't celebrate Christmas. and a happy new year for January the 1st, or in China's case a bit later, February I believe. So yeah, just to everybody, we hope you stay safe, we hope you stay happy for the holidays, and Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, heartfelt from Cheap Shot Entertainment. We would not be here without you guys clicking to watch these videos, and we appreciate it oh so much. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.